Everybody, this is Damian Mitchell with Tribune Sports live here with quarterback of Pinson Valley Indians, Bo Nix. Bo Nix, thank you for being on the tip with us. Man, 10,000 yards, man. I mean, that's a feat that most people don't even get that in high school and college combined, and you got them all in your high school career. So just tell me what that means for you and to you personally, and how does it affect your legacy as a high school football player?
I mean, obviously, it definitely means a lot. And just to have my mark in the state of Alabama and to be my name to be in the record books is just really amazing. And obviously the season's still going. We have much more football to play, so I'm looking to just keep that going and just continue to make strides.
Oh, without a doubt, man. Y'all sitting number one in the top of 6A again, a place that you're pretty familiar with, man. What do you think that this year is going to be the motivating factor to keep rolling on and actually have another chance at a state championship?
Well, this year we have a lot different team than last year. We're a lot younger than we were last year. We had a lot of seniors last year, so a lot of new faces and a lot of hungry guys looking for like their role in a state championship team, and they want to have a huge impact like the guys did last year.
Like last year, your dad is the head coach. I just want you to talk about how it is having your father out there as as a role model, as the guy that's calling the shots of everything, and how does that affect you as a player?
Oh, it's great. I think it's a great thing to have your dad out there because I take it more personal, and I know that this is a livelihood for us, and he's not just a coach, but he is a dad, and so learning to balance that between father and son and coach and player, it can get challenging at times, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I got you. Hey, but you think about everything that you've accomplished so far. You have a feat that not many people have done, and the thing about it is people would say that, oh, he's a coach's son. Everybody's like, oh, he's a coach's son. His dad's gonna make sure everything else is, he's gonna be the limelight. But I don't think that comes from Coach Nix, and you can talk more about that. So just tell me, the dynamics of your father and your dad's relationship as a coach and as a father.
Well, honestly, I think I kid with him all the time. If I wasn't your son, you'd probably let me throw it a little bit more. But he just like my freshman and sophomore year, we had a 1,000-yard rusher. He's now at Troy, so it wasn't like we threw the ball every snap or anything like that. But I've definitely played a lot of varsity football. I started when I was in 8th grade, so that obviously helped just being on the field more. But overall, it's just, it's just playing a lot of games. It's the offense that we're in. It's the style of player that I am, running and throwing. And so I think the both of those factors just contribute to having a lot of yards and then just winning and scoring a lot of points.
All right, we'll look towards the future a little bit. You're committed to Auburn University, and they're having some quarterback woes there. I know you're not going into 2019, but what is your hope and goals when you get to Auburn?
Just go in there and do my best to learn the offense and do whatever I can to contribute to the team, whether that's playing right off the bat or being the backup. It doesn't really matter to me. But whichever one is having Auburn winning, that's the main goal.
I got you. And there was another Knicks guy there at Auburn years ago, and that's your dad. He played quarterback. So did your dad have any kind of influence or anything as far as you going to Auburn, or was Auburn really your decision?
Oh, it was 100% my decision. He told me all the time he didn't care where I went. I could end up wherever, all the way on the other side of the country. He'd still come and support me whenever he could. But I knew I wanted to stay close to home so they could come. I have a little brother who's going to be in high school next year, and he's in high school next year. He'll be playing next year, and so my dad will coach him. And so just to help the family out and wanted to stay close. And obviously personally wanted them to come see my games as much as they could. So with that being said, I did want to keep it close and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, I knew that Auburn was the place for me.
How do you think that's going to play out? You've had your dad as your coach for so long. How do you think it's going to be when you get out there and it's like, oh man, like I don't have Coach Nix anymore, but my dad is going to be out there in the stands watching me. How does that make you feel?
I think I'm going to enjoy something different because he's the only coach I've ever really had, and so he's always told me the plays and told me what to do. He's been the play caller and stuff like that. So I think it will be good to have a change, and he's obviously going to be right there asking me all kinds of questions and asking me about the offense and what during games, why'd I do this, why'd I do that, and stuff like that. So he'll always be there and giving his side of the story. So I think that'll be good. But he knows that he lets the coaches that I'm under go with it, and me listen to them.
I got you, man. Well, outside of football, who is Bo Nix? What kind of things do you like to do on the weekend, like have fun, chill out? Because when you get to college, man, it's a whole different ball game.
Right.
You're gonna be around a different group of friends. So what does Bo Nix have to offer outside of just a football player?
Well, I've moved a total of 8 different times, so I've been around to many different schools, many different places. So in that, I haven't really ever been necessarily connected to a certain friend group. I've always moved around. So when I move, they already have their friends, and so I kind of just jumping in. So I'm not really all the time out with my friends or anything like that. So really, I'm just more of a family guy, and so I love hanging out with my siblings and just the football teammates. I mean, I love doing all that, and then my grandparents live out of town, so just whenever I get to see them, that's always great. But really, I mean, it's football, school, and sleep at this point. So if I'm not doing one of those things, I'm usually with family or something along those lines.
I got you, man. And hey, I want to wish you luck as you go forward. Pinson Valley is rolling right now. So do you believe that state championship is attainable right now? Do you believe that your team is locked and loaded, ready to go, buckled in? As the season's coming to an end, the playoffs is going to start,
Right.
And it's basically a whole new season. So what do you think that Pinson Valley has, and what do you think that Pinson Valley has to offer later now than we did in years past?
I think the coaching is obviously exceptional here. We definitely have the players, but we have a lot of things to correct, offensively especially, and I know defense is going to have their own thing to worry about, but offensively we just have to be more consistent and running the ball, passing the ball, find that good balance. And at the end of the day, we know we have the talent. We just have to go out there and perform to the best of our abilities and get the job done.
Oh, man. You heard from the man himself, Bo Nix. We want to thank everybody for listening to you. And, Bo, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And keep it rolling, man.
Yes, sir.
And we're back with Tribune Sports Live here with head coach of Pinson Valley Indians, Patrick Nix. Coach Nix, pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Your son, Bo Nix, has gone over 10,000 total yards on offense. How does that make you feel as a father and as a coach to watch your guy? He's your quarterback and also your son.
It's obviously very rewarding seeing him, knowing how hard he's worked over the years, knowing what he's done, and the efforts that he's put in to get to this point. Very rewarding as not only a coach but as a dad. As a coach, knowing all the plays that we've put in and all the effort that we've done there, but also as a dad, seeing all the effort that he's put in behind the scenes to make himself into a very good player. Makes you very proud.
Yes, sir. And he's been your quarterback for very prolific offenses that you've had here in Pinson Valley and also at Scottsboro. And what is the joy and fun that you have this year? That your son's a senior now. He's growing up before your eyes, and now he's going as an early enrollee to Auburn. So what does that make you feel? These last games are like his last games with you as a player and a son. Well, as a player. So just talk to me about that kind of relationship.
Well, it's bittersweet. Obviously, we've been through a lot of battles together. We've done a lot together, and sort of have in a way built this offense together from scratch. And he and I, from him starting in the second half of his 8th grade year, and we've been through a lot of growing and learning and those type of things. So so it's bittersweet for sure. It's great to see him accomplish all that he's doing, but at the same time, it's sort of sad to see it's coming to an end.
Yes, sir. But most people would think that Pinson Valley, #1 team in 6A right now, you have championship aspirations, but you take it 1 week at a time. So as the season is winding down, the playoffs start to come together. What do you think that your team has as far as edge-wise, as far as knowing the game and knowing that y'all been to the state championship before, but this is a new team? What do you think your team has over the opponents that y'all face for the next roads down towards the state championship?
Bottom line, we just got to try to be the best we can be. We can't worry about what's down the road. We can't worry about. We got to really worry about this practice today, and this rep, and I think that's what's made us successful, last year and this year, is that we worry about ourselves and we worry about what we're doing, not what somebody else is doing, and and try to get better every day, every rep. And and I think that the one thing that really helps us is when we go to practice, we're going against as good offense and defense as you go against in the state. And so every day that we get to go out and go against each other, we're getting very high quality, type reps, and so we've got to continue to do that. And but the biggest thing is we just got to stay focused on us and make sure that we're getting better.
Yes, sir. And Bo, as we all know, he's going to go into Auburn, where you played as well. And I just want to ask you about, the whole recruiting process for your son as well. I know you, as a father, you just want your son to make the decision that's best for him. And everybody's saying, oh, he probably influenced or anything, but how would you say that your son's recruiting process and him committing to Auburn, how does that make you feel as a father and as a coach?
Well, I think he was very diligent with how he went through the process. A lot of people do think that that he was sort of forced into Auburn or whatever, but he wasn't. Now, did he have influence? Yeah, he's had a mom and dad influencing him for 18 years, and that's not going to change. He's very blessed to have that. He's very blessed to have a mom and dad that love him and have tried to educate him all along the process, not just in recruiting, but in life and everything he's done. And so I think he was able to take all those things that he's learned, not only through us, but through other mentors and coaches, teachers that he's learned from, his whole life, of how to take a problem, look at it, and sort of solve it, make the best decision. And that's what he did. He was very methodical with going through it, and actually we went to a lot of different places, and he had an opportunity to go and visit and see if he liked them, and really look at it, and had a chance to really sit down and see what he wanted out of a college. Do you just want to go somewhere to where all you're gonna have a chance to go to the NFL? You want to go somewhere where all you're gonna do is have a chance to win? For him, he wants to do those things, but he also wants more of an experience. When it comes to socially, spiritually, educationally. That he wanted the whole thing, and for him, that was Auburn. And so, but I do think he did a very good job of going through the process and looking at other places and truly evaluating what would be best for him.
Yes, sir. And another thing is, you've been his coach for so long. How do you think that your son will operate when you're just dad this time? You're not Coach Nix out there. You're going to be in the stands, watching your son play. How does that make you feel? How do you think that Bo is going to react?
Bo will react great to it. He's been fortunate. He's the past couple of years been able to go and do some things during the summers and springs with other people, other teams, and as far as a 7-on-7 team or the Nike opening and Elite 11, things like that he's been able to be around other coaches and get other coaching. So for him, I think that it will be good in that aspect. The negative of it is he probably won't have quite the influence, quite to be able to talk somebody into running a play that he does me, because I have a different kind of trust for him than maybe they will. But it won't take them long for I think Coach Lindsey and Coach Malzahn to see that he gets it, and there'll be some very, very interesting conversations with them in the staff room like they are with us. But it'd probably be tougher on me than it is on him, of just sitting up there and watching now instead of being able to call the play and talk to him through it and all those kind of things. And that's something that I really enjoy. I enjoy spending that time with him and being able to think through things and talk through things, and and him understanding why we're doing it, and me understanding what he knows and things like that. So that'll be a little bit more of a challenge sitting up there watching him. Good thing for me is I've got another one coming in, Caleb, that I'll be able to still throw all sorts of ideas around with and do different things with. And so, but it will be different sitting in the stands, watching.
Yes, sir. And Coach, Pinson Valley, you're rolling. The playoffs are starting to heat up. Do you think that your team has what it takes to accomplish a state championship?
Absolutely. I think that we're not number one in the state for a reason, and we play in the toughest region in the state, 6A. Between us and Clay and Oxford and Shades and Gardendale. There's some very good teams. All of them playoff caliber teams, and so and I think the competition that we've played and playing Hoover early on and things like that have really helped prepare us for what our ultimate goal is, which is a state championship. And I think that we all realize that we can do it. That there's a difference in believing you can do it and going and doing it, though. Now we've got to be able to go out and execute and get better each day, each week, so that we can put ourselves in position to be able to do that.
Yes, sir. Well, you've heard it here first. You had Bo Nix, the son, and you have Coach Patrick Nix, the father, and they both are excited about the Pinson Valley and the opportunity for Bo to advance at Auburn. And congratulations to you as well for having coach somebody that's gone over 10,000 total yards of offense, and you get to see it as your son as well. So, Coach, I appreciate your time, and you keep it rolling.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.